Miss Miller, you just showed me where your priorities were right there. That you weren't just acting a fool because you so mad at him that you would cheat your child out of a father. But that cheering you did, what you cheering? I'm a single mother with nobody that loves me or my child. What you cheering for?
I knew it, I told you. I knew it wasn't his baby. When mama went to the hospital and seen that baby, she knew it wasn't. A mother know they child. A mother know they child. My mama went to the hospital when she had that baby and said, that is not my son's child.
In a world where DNA revelations can turn lives upside down, Paternity Court with Judge Lauren brings out some of the wildest moments in courtroom drama. From jaw-dropping betrayals to shocking twists, it's not always the parents who are blindsided. Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions as we dive into the most insane revenge moments. Here's a rundown of the explosive episodes where scorned mothers took matters into their own hands. Can you imagine having 5 kids in just 5 years? It sounds absolutely insane, right? But that's the startling reality for our #1 contender on this list. Ms. Thomas and Mr. Nelson had been living together for over 5 years, and while their relationship was far from a bed of roses, she certainly found comfort in this chaotic arrangement, until everything took a dramatic turn and turned sour. Things escalated when Mr. Nelson brought Ms. Thomas to paternity court, flat out denying paternity of their 5th child, which threw their entire relationship into turmoil.
You claim you spent 6 years in a relationship with the defendant, Mr. Taylor, and gave him 5 beautiful children. In return, he cheated on you and is now questioning the paternity of your youngest child, 8-month-old Jakai. You are here to prove paternity and win him back, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
He leveled shocking accusations against her, claiming that she had been unfaithful with another man during their long situationship. But how did he know she was cheating? His evidence came from a text message.
He decided to leave because at that time we did grow apart.
I used to find stuff on her purse and everything. She'd be like, I'm going to work today.
Because I went to the
She'd come back and be like, you like this outfit right here? I'm like, yeah, where you going? You worked all week. If anything, I've been here with the kids all day long, all 4 of them.
If infidelity were judged solely based on the number of men someone texted, we'd all be deemed guilty in the eyes of Judge Lauren. Yet, Mr. Nelson insisted that Ms. Thomas was nothing more than a dishonest pile of filth, openly entertaining calls and messages from other men. In the heat of the moment, she even hinted at having engaged in revenge sex, but only with that one man, trying to downplay the situation.
So what is this? Why then do you start having other men popping up on your phone?
It wasn't men, it was that one man, not men.
And why? Why did you get in a relationship with this one man? As retaliation for his cheating?
As tears streamed down her cheeks, Ms. Thomas dropped a bombshell in the courtroom that left everyone utterly stunned. Guess what? Mr. Nelson was just as guilty of the very crime he accused her of committing. He was secretly married to a Miss Campbell who was also present in the courtroom. Wild. She revealed that she hadn't known about the other woman until recently, realizing that he had been two-timing both of them without a shred of remorse.
That's when he started denying my son. Mind you, he was cheating on me with her. I didn't know about her until I found out she was calling him through Facebook. And he was trying to lie then because we were still messing around even when he was with her.
Just when you think the situation couldn't possibly get any worse, it did. The audacity of it all. Under normal circumstances, Judge Lauren would have had no reason to go after Ms. Thomas while she was on the hot seat, but the arguing escalated when they began to dispute who the real side chick was in this tangled love triangle.
Going from wifey to side chick.
No, I'm not nobody's side chick because your husband is the one that tells me he wants to leave.
But that makes you a side chick.
No,
that makes you a side chick. We're legally married.
Wait a minute.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Listen.
He told me he married you out of spite.
No, I did.
This infuriated the judge as she made it unequivocally clear to both women that they had been fooled by the very man they thought belonged to them. She emphasized that neither woman was superior to the other in his twisted hierarchy of preferences. He had made them both miserable, leaving them trapped in a tumultuous emotional roller coaster of drama and heartbreak. This infuriated Judge Lauren, who swiftly set them straight with her commanding authority.
Both of you all confused. He's sleeping with both of y'all, okay? So look, let's clear the air. Neither one of you are on a step higher than the other. Cause you may now be his wife, but that's the mother of all his children and maybe another one. You all both look miserable. I can see the look on your face, Mr. Nelson. You decided in your mind that it's possible for you to have both of these women. And they let you. You're not gonna sit up here and fool me, because let me tell you something. I don't know what they fighting over.
Ms. Thomas had 5 kids. 5 children with a man who couldn't care less, all within just 5 years. The absurdity of that fact echoed in the courtroom, leaving everyone shaking their heads in disbelief. After a lengthy history of back-and-forth drama, Judge Lauren went berserk, asserting her judicial authority and passionately declaring that no man should ever come between 2 women, no matter the circumstances.
You got 4 kids. No, you really do. Because no. Because I see too much women in your position. And you say, if he just leave me alone, I'll be all right.
I will.
No. He don't just slip on a banana peel and land between your legs.
When Ms. Thomas tried to downplay her happiness, insisting that she was relieved not to have married the cheating man, the judge quickly cut her off, stating, "You're still in it. The only difference is that the other woman has a piece of paper."
I turned that down because I'm glad I didn't marry him because I would be going through the same thing right now. I'll be married to him getting cheated on too.
You still in it. She just got a piece of paper. You need to be honest. You're all in this. So you can't point a finger at Miss Nelson and say, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not you," because you are her on the other side of the mirror.
In this case, Judge Lauren was clearly swimming in a pool of anger, feeling the weight of the emotional turmoil surrounding her. Then came the moment we'd all been waiting for. Would Mr. Nelson be deemed the father of this number 5 out of 5? The suspense was palpable as the court prepared to reveal the results. Let's find out.
Mr. Nelson, you are the father. It's number 5.
I met him and he already had, 4 kids with her. So what's one more?
I'll tell you what one more is. One more means this isn't over.
Next on our list is a moment so jaw-dropping, it feels like something straight out of a screenplay. Mr. Broussard stormed into paternity court, armed to the hilt with evidence that his wife had been unfaithful time and again. He wasn't just throwing baseless accusations, he demanded a DNA test to confirm his darkest suspicions and get the answers he desperately needed.
Mr. Broussard, you opened your case hoping the court will grant you a paternity test so you can prove you are not the father of 4-month-old baby Charles. You say your 1-year marriage to the defendant is on the verge of collapse because of paternity doubt and you need this test.
On the flip side, Ms. Broussard was in full-on damage control mode. She insisted that her husband was simply being paranoid, driven mad by whispers and gossip circulating among their friends and family. But Mr. Broussard wasn't buying it for a second. He came prepared with undeniable proof, ready to reveal all the scandalous details that would shed light on their troubled marriage. And reveal them he did.
So, Ms. Broussard, what's going on in the home?
He is so obsessed with my ex that he feels that I'm cheating on him every time I do something. We argue, we fight all the time. Me and him just are not getting along at all.
What unfolded next was nothing short of a roller coaster ride filled with accusations, denials, and shocking admissions. Mr. Broussard even went as far as to accuse his wife of engaging in a full-blown affair with her ex, which she vehemently denied, of course.
Reason why, that gave you my doubt that little Charles is not mine.
Then, things took a dramatic turn when Mr. Broussard presented his Exhibit A. And let's just say, it painted a troubling picture for Ms. Broussard.
On my table, I just got off work, and basically I walked in, and the cups looked freshly poured. You still can see the water dripping off of it because it's going to room temperature. So I asked, why is there another cup here? She basically said, I don't know. I said, well, you had in my house then. She didn't know.
She said, I don't know?
The atmosphere grew so tense that you could hear a pin drop in that courtroom. Ms. Broussard appeared visibly rattled, but she stood her ground, refusing to back down even when confronted with some truly incriminating evidence. This was a woman determined not to go down without a fight, showing incredible resolve in the face of mounting pressure.
Miss Broussard, did your ex send you a naked photo?
Yes, he did.
And you don't tell him don't do that?
I do, but he's gonna do it anyways because he, like I said,
and you don't block his number?
No.
The real bombshell came when Mr. Broussard declared, with unwavering conviction, that he wasn't even sure if he was the biological father. He stated this with such certainty, having confirmed his wife's infidelity with her ex, sending shockwaves through the courtroom.
So how do you go from rumors to just being convinced she slept with her ex?
In August, I was away, and once I returned home, I seen Helen in the shower, and she had like handprints on her thighs, her buttocks.
As for Ms. Broussard's reaction, it was anything but ordinary. She openly admitted to her actions without a hint of shame, offering a rather surprising justification: revenge sex. It was a bold admission that left everyone in the courtroom momentarily speechless.
You admitted to your husband that you had slept with your ex in your house.
Yeah.
And you don't have no shame in it, huh?
But I slept with him after his ex called me telling me that they were having an affair too.
Oh, so the revenge sex.
Yes.
As the courtroom held its collective breath for the results, anticipation hung in the air like a thick fog. Was Mr. Broussard right all along, or had he been chasing mere shadows, blinded by jealousy and doubt? When the judge finally read the results, the tension was palpable. Slicing through the atmosphere like a knife, the truth had finally emerged, and the outcome? Let's just say it left everyone in that courtroom, and likely everyone watching, completely shell-shocked and speechless.
Mr. Broussard, you are the father. How does it feel to hear that?
I feel a lot more better about the results. I still got love for him. As far as me and Helen go, you know, we have to work on our marriage and our differences. Pretty happy that.
The next episode is a perfect depiction of regret following a revenge sex. Let's dive into the thrilling details of the case Greer versus Thompson. Ms. Greer, in a bid to get back at her boyfriend, had revenge sex and ended up not knowing who fathered her child. Mr. Thompson, however, had no clue about this and had already been fulfilling parental duties for a full 6 months before a shocking revelation hit him, through social media no less, that made him question whether he was even the father.
Ms. Greer, you are the mother of 1-year-old Lanaya. You say you regret cheating on the defendant, Mr. Thompson, as an act of revenge to hurt him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of the mistake you made, you now claim you have no clue who fathered your child.
The drama began after Mr. Thompson cheated on Ms. Greer, sparking her desire to get even. She found herself on a dating site, looking for someone to inflict the same pain on Mr. Thompson. And soon enough, she did. She hooked up with another man. Not long after, Ms. Greer discovered she was pregnant and quickly informed Mr. Thompson, who had no idea about her affair.
I found out that he cheated on me, and I wanted to get revenge. And I met this man on a dating website. I slept with him, and I found I was pregnant, and I didn't have nobody. And I just wanted to do it.
Upon hearing the news, Mr. Thompson made a life-changing decision. He turned his entire life around, moved from Tennessee to Atlanta, Georgia, and committed himself fully to being the father he always wanted to be.
While I was in Tennessee, me and my family had moved to Tennessee, and all of a sudden I get a Facebook message from Ms. Greer saying that she's pregnant, and I told her that she was lying, that I didn't believe her, so I told her to send a message of the pregnancy test that she took with it, and she did. And after that, me and my family had moved back to Atlanta, Georgia so they can help me.
He threw himself into the experience, excitedly attending the birth of the child, full of pride and joy. He even stayed by Ms. Greer's side throughout her hospital stay and was the one to cut the umbilical cord. Through all of this, he remained.
Hey, that's about how you look. So you were there through it all.
Yes.
This very moment where you're exhausted, you all been up all night, and yet you're excited and joyful, you have no clue
No, Your Honor.
that she had slept with another man.
Blissfully unaware of the secret she kept, that there could be other potential fathers. And there's more. Both Ms. Greer and baby Lanaya even moved in with Mr. Thompson and his family after the birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after they got home, have you been there? Oh, she's beautiful. Have you been there?
Your Honor, after she left the hospital, she moved in with me and my...
The real shocker came when a member of Ms. Greer's family dropped a bombshell on Mr. Thompson's Facebook page. The post claimed that there were 2 other men in the picture, men who could possibly be Lania's father. This revelation sent shockwaves through the courtroom, leaving everyone in disbelief.
One of her family members posted it on Facebook about that the baby's not mine, that it can be 2 other people I guess she was sleeping with.
Wait, her family member posted this on Facebook?
On my page.
On your page? After you've been at the hospital with the baby and everybody knew how excited and happy you were?
Ms. Greer had kept this explosive secret for 6 whole months. When asked why she hadn't come clean earlier, She simply said it was because she loved Mr. Thompson and didn't want to jeopardize their relationship.
How long?
I didn't want to ruin the relationship that we had. And when I told him, he started crying. And it made me feel bad because, you know what I'm saying, this is the man I love. And it just like...
Her plan? To keep the truth hidden until Lania turned 1, hoping by then their bond would be so strong that the news wouldn't destroy everything.
Ever told him the truth?
Yes, Your Honor, till she was a year old.
When she was a year?
Yes.
And is that because you felt like, let me get him attached to her so that he can't walk away from her, then I'll tell him and it won't matter then because he'll always love her and be back in love with me and everything be okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when the court thought things couldn't get worse, another surprise was revealed. Baby Lania had been living with Mr. Thompson as a full-time dad for 3 months, while Ms. Greer had been staying elsewhere.
And where's Ms. Greer? She lives with you all too?
No, she lived with my brother and his baby mama and his family.
You have had the baby, Lania, at your house with your family. You really have been full-time dad.
Yes, Your Honor.
This raised some serious concerns about what might happen if the child wasn't actually his.
What are you gonna do? Because this baby, she believes you are her daddy.
I wouldn't know what I would do if she's not mine.
Then entered Mr. Tolles, another potential father. He confirmed Ms. Greer's story of how they met, but didn't hesitate to call her a compulsive liar. According to him, Ms. Greer had lied about having a boyfriend and then claimed she was pregnant for that same boyfriend.
Bottom line is you all did have sex.
Yeah, we had sex
without using protection.
We had sex on the floor. The first time we used the condom.
Okay.
The second and the third time we did not use the condom. She stayed over my house the whole weekend. Some kind of way, her and my sister became close friends and ended up hanging out and conversating with each other.
Initially, Mr. Tolles had no reason to worry, until a relative of Ms. Greer contacted him on Facebook, sending pictures of baby Lania. The resemblance to his 2-year-old son was striking.
Calls me and inbox me on Facebook saying that they think the baby mine because it looked like me, and I told her to send me a picture. I have evidence of the picture.
Let me see
this. Is my son and Lania.
But then, another comparison photo of Lania next to Mr. Tolles showed no similarity at all, adding further doubt to the claims that he might be the father.
Of you,
Lania and me.
And Lania.
Yes.
Now when you look at that picture,
I don't see no resemblance.
You don't see it. And so you are truly doubtful. You don't know what to believe.
I don't know what to believe because she's a compulsive liar.
As if the situation wasn't already chaotic, Mr. Tolles dropped one final bombshell. He suggested there could be a third man involved. He revealed a Facebook post showing Ms. Greer cozying up to another man, her ex-boyfriend, with a romantic caption that read, "True love."
Miss Greer, I found this on Facebook where she hooked up with another dude. That's not me in the picture or Mr. Thompson in the picture.
Okay, but Ed, that's my ex-boyfriend, so?
Baby father.
He's not Lania daddy. And so what?
Okay, so you see this picture posted with true love by it. So now you think there's a third.
When questioned, Ms. Greer denied any sexual relationship with her ex around the time Lania was conceived, insisting the only possibilities were Mr. Thompson or Mr. Tolles.
She's a child of herself that can't take care of herself. So how do she gonna take care of baby?
How you gonna tell me I'm an unfit man?
Miss Greer, this man in this picture, you say that's your ex-boyfriend?
The plot thickened even further when Mr. Thompson brought in a conception calendar calculator, which indicated he wasn't even in Atlanta at the time Lania would have been conceived. Talk about complications.
So the baby was born on September 27, 2012. And if we hit calculate, possible date of ovulation is January 5th, 2012. Possible dates of conception are January 1st through the 9th of 2012.
With everything spiraling out of control, it became clear that science was the only thing that could bring clarity to this mess. Mr. Thompson desperately wanted to be the father. Ms. Greer hoped for the same outcome, and Mr. Tolles feared he had already lost precious time. It was truly a beautiful moment in its own way, with everyone clinging to hope as the court awaited the paternity results.
So the baby was born on September 27, 2012. And if we hit calculate, possible date of ovulation is January 5th, 2012. Possible dates of conception are January 1st through the 9th of 2012.
Now, let's find out who leaves the courtroom the happiest.
It has been determined by this court that her biological father is Mr. Thompson. You're happy, I can see it in your eyes.
Yes.
I'm proud of you for stepping up to the plate even when there was doubt.
In this gripping episode of Paternity Court, we plunge into the tumultuous case of Funzie versus Irvin, where hidden secrets and powerful emotions collide in a heated quest for paternity. Ms. Funzie strides into the courtroom, a blend of resolve and apprehension evident on her face as she prepares to confront Mr. Irvin regarding her assertions about their child, firmly believing it belongs to both of them. The atmosphere is charged with tension as she readies herself to unveil her truth, aiming to settle the doubts that have haunted their relationship. All eyes are on her as the stakes rise, and the quest for the truth takes center stage.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Funzie, you have opened your case to save your family. You are here to prove your 1-month-old baby, Joakim Irvin, is your boyfriend, Mr. Irvin's biological son. You say you and Mr. Irvin have 2 other children.
However, Mr. Irvin was not so easily convinced, especially after Ms. Funzie had hinted at infidelity just weeks before the pregnancy. The air crackled with anticipation as both parties geared up to lay bare their grievances.
You blame his sister for stirring up his ridiculous doubts, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Irvin, you say that Ms. Funzie confessed to having an affair.
Ms. Funzie recounted the history of cheating that had plagued their relationship, revealing that Mr. Irvin had previously strayed. In a twist of justifications, she argued that since he had cheated on her first, it was only fair for her to respond in kind. Revenge sex, she claimed, trying to downplay the significance of her actions by insisting it was merely a one-night stand.
Yes.
If Mr. Irvin had never looked at the phone, if something didn't tell him to look at that phone, would you have told him about the cheating?
Yes, I was gonna come clean to him at the right time because we was already going through.
When was the right time?
Because he came to me when he had told me he cheated, and I would feel like I should come to him because I cheated.
Tensions escalated when Mr. Irvin brought up an incident involving an allegedly doctored ultrasound result. He and his sister Jada believed that Ms. Funzie had manipulated the evidence to fit her story, a claim she staunchly refuted, further heightening the courtroom drama.
I wanted to see how many weeks she was, and when she came out with the paper, I couldn't understand the number of how many weeks she was. I didn't know if she was pregnant by me or someone else, so I just let it go.
Because you were concerned about the date.
Yes.
But it should have been on the paperwork.
In an attempt to solidify her case, Ms. Funzie presented a photograph of their children, highlighting their shared physical trait of knock knees and asserting that this should prove their biological connection. She thought this visual evidence would strengthen her position.
You feel like they got the same
Yes.
knock knees. Oh, they're okay. All the other kids, they say they all got the same knees and the same body shape, and you say Joakim got the same thing.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you believe these knock knees are hereditary and the body shape.
However, the court had other plans. To uncover the truth, they called in a medical expert who explained that it was challenging to definitively determine biological relationships based on the presence of knock knees at such a young age. This revelation landed a significant blow to Ms. Funzie's argument.
Believe this minor child carries that trait.
I would say, my expert opinion, it would be very difficult to determine this at this age.
Okay.
Knowing that the variants happen in children less than 6 years old.
So, Ms. Funzie, as you listen to Dr. Richardson's testimony,
The shock in the courtroom was palpable. Despite this finding, Ms. Funzie clung tightly to her belief that the children were undeniably Mr. Irvin's.
your belief?
Y'all understand what he's talking about, but it's still, they all have knock knees.
Have you ever told this other man that he
The situation took a dramatic turn when a message from the man with whom Ms. Funzie had cheated surfaced in court. Without holding back, he disclosed their intimate encounters on multiple occasions, leaving Ms. Funzie stunned and the courtroom buzzing with disbelief.
We kept sleeping with each other 3 to 4 times after that with no This was between the months of October 2017 and November 2017. Miss Funzie?
Eventually, she reluctantly acknowledged the truth of his claims, admitting that the infidelity was not limited to a single instance, causing the dynamics of the case to shift yet again.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, it was more than one time, or it was a one-night stand?
It was more than one time.
You go get
Okay.
it. You lied. You lied to me.
Listen,
As the court prepared to announce the results, Mr. Irvin offered a flicker of hope, stating he would accept the child as his own if the DNA test confirmed it. This statement brought a brief moment of calm to the tense room, suggesting a potential path toward reconciliation. Nevertheless, he made it clear that if the child turned out not to be his, it would spell the end of their relationship.
And if he is not?
If he's not, I'm gonna be done with this relationship for good.
I'm ready to get the result. Jerome, these results were prepared by DNA diagnostics.
With the tension building once more, the room buzzed with anticipation, setting the stage for a decisive moment in their fraught relationship. Would they emerge together, or was this the beginning of their end? Let's find out.
Mr. Irvin, or Mr. Winfield, is the father of 1-month-old Joaquim Irvin. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Winfield.
I know what I told you. I knew it wasn't his baby. When mama went to the hospital and seen that baby, she knew it wasn't. A mother know they child. A mother know they child.
Next on our list is the dramatic case of Miller versus Rasmussen. In this case, Miss Miller took Mr. Rasmussen to court, suing him over the paternity of their 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee. Tensions were already high, but things took a turn when Mr. Rasmussen dropped a shocking revelation. He claimed that the only reason Miss Miller was denying his paternity was because she harbored a deep hatred for him.
The real reason Miss Miller is denying your Zaylee's father is because she hates you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you've been there for your daughter her entire life, and you're here today to prove you are Zaylee's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rasmussen, why is Ms. Miller saying you're not Zaylee's father?
This was an alarming accusation, and Judge Lauren quickly delved into the details to get to the bottom of the matter. During further questioning, another jaw-dropping twist emerged. It was revealed that at one point in their rocky relationship, Mr. Rasmussen had actually cheated on Miss Miller. Holy moly. Talk about a bombshell. It was the kind of revelation no one saw coming, especially because Mr. Rasmussen didn't seem like the type to stray. His appearance was unassuming, and he had presented himself as a devoted father.
When things got rocky, I'll admit it, I did go to another woman. I'll be the first to admit that. You know, it was my mistake.
Is that true, Miss Miller?
No.
It's not?
No.
Tell me what you believe to be true in this situation.
Yes, I was very mad at him for being a cheater. He cheated on me through pretty much our whole relationship.
In fact, Mr. Rasmussen went to great lengths to be in his child's life, driving a whopping 160 miles just to see baby Zaylee. Despite his commitment as a father, it became clear that their relationship was far from perfect.
I'm paying my child support. I have my child support payments right here, plus an additional $3 fee, plus an additional $60 annual fee just to pay my child support.
You pay $50 a week.
Just under $50 a week, plus that $3 with every check, plus another $60 every year to the state.
Both parties had their own skeletons in the closet. It was revealed that their time together, though brief, had been filled with issues that extended far beyond typical disagreements.
I want my visitation because my daughter means the world to me. I want to be in her life as much as I possibly can.
I mean, if he's driving 160 miles each way every other weekend, the money he would get in his taxes, he's spending in gas.
But the surprises didn't stop there. As Judge Lauren continued to dig deeper into the situation, it came out that while Miss Miller was sleeping with other men during their relationship, Mr. Rasmussen also had his fair share of women on the side. Even with all the infidelity, Mr. Rasmussen remained a devoted father, always fulfilling his responsibilities to Zaylee. Shocking, right? Especially in a world where so many men choose to abandon their responsibilities, he stood out.
You pay $50 a week.
Just under $50 a week, plus that $3 with every check, plus another $60 every year to the state.
And that's not very much to get what she needs.
Is it enough to buy her clothes so she doesn't have to wear cut-off sweatpants and the same t-shirt every time I pick her up?
I do that because I don't want,
Is it enough money to buy her underwear so you don't got to keep putting her in diapers at 4 years old?
I have underwear for her.
Judge Lauren's frustration grew as more details emerged, and it reached its peak when it was revealed that Miss Miller hadn't even informed her ex-boyfriend that Zaylee might not be his child until a full 6 months after the baby was born. Understandably, this revelation enraged the judge, and she made her feelings abundantly clear.
What about just telling him? I want to understand that. Why was it that you were keeping this information so close to your hip until 5-6 months after Zaylee was born?
The more she grew up.
The tension in the courtroom reached a boiling point when the paternity results were announced. Instead of reacting with humility or gratitude, Miss Miller did the unthinkable. She cheered at the news. This blatant display of insensitivity pushed Judge Lauren over the edge. In a fierce rebuke, she lashed out at Miss Miller for her celebration, reminding her that the results meant no one wanted anything to do with her or the child.
You just showed me where your priorities were right there.
I'm sorry.
Because I held out hope that you weren't just acting a fool because you so mad at him because he cheated on you that you would cheat your child out of a father. But that cheering you did? What you cheering?
The entire courtroom went silent. You could hear a pin drop as Judge Lauren unleashed her full anger on the mother who seemed to believe she had the right to do whatever she pleased with her child's future. The irritation on Judge Lauren's face was visible to the blind as she admonished Miss Miller for her lack of remorse. Miss Miller's nonchalant attitude and her complete disregard for Mr. Rasmussen's feelings had already grated on the judge's nerves, and this latest outburst pushed her past the point of no return.
I sit here day after day after day with women hoping a man would drive 16 miles to see their baby, much less 160 miles each way, and abide by a court order and sign a birth certificate and come day after day and week after week so they can grow visitation to have a relationship with the child.
So, with all the twists, turns, and drama, the moment of truth finally arrived. What could the paternity results possibly reveal? Let's find out.
Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful. I'm sorry.
Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you or your child.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve.